Welcome to Hamilton, Montana, the county seat of Ravalli County in the southwest corner of Montana, and our next stop on the reverse tour. Hamilton resides in the Bitterroot Valley, the ancestral home of the Salish tribe of the Flathead Nation. It was founded by Copper King Marcus Daly as a snub to the former county seat, Grantsdale, when he was refused the rights to begin business there. Take that, Grantsdale. Shakespeare in the Parks has been visiting Hamilton since 1985 and used to perform on the grounds of the Daly Mansion. In recent years, we have been hosted by Sapphire Lutheran Homes, and we're going to hear a bit more about that from our tour coordinator, who's also the town's mayor, Dominic Farrenkopf. Take it away, Dominic.
Hello, I'm Dominic Farrenkopf. I serve as the Community Life Director at Sapphire Lutheran Homes here in Hamilton, Montana. I'm also proud to serve as Hamilton's mayor, and each summer we welcome the entire Bitterroot Valley to Sapphire for Montana Shakespeare in the Parks. This summer we were especially excited because we were going to be selected as a double feature city. We're hoping for that next year when Montana Shakespeare in the Parks returns. My favorite part about hosting Shakespeare here at Sapphire was treating the actors to lunch and then treating them to a cast party after the show. I'll definitely miss that, but look forward to it next year. Thank you, everyone.
Dominic arranged for some prominent members of the community to share some Shakespeare with us. Let's take a listen.
Hi, I'm Mara Lynn Luther from Chapter 1 Bookstore here in Hamilton, Montana. And Shakespeare in the Parks is always one of our favorite events of the summer. So we're excited to be able to participate and share some Shakespeare with you folks who are at home. This is sonnet number 23. As an unperfect actor on the stage who with his fear is put beside his part, or some fierce thing, replete with too much rage, whose strength's abundance weakens his own heart, so I, for fear of trust, forget to say the perfect ceremony of love's rite, and in my own love's strength seem to decay, or charged with burthen of my own love's might. Oh, let my looks then be the eloquence and dumb presagers of my speaking breast, who plead for love and look for recompense, more than that tongue that more hath more expressed. Oh, learn to read what silent love hath writ, to hear with eyes belongs to love's fine wit. It's because now I have to flirt over my mask.
Oh, hi. I'm Steve Fullerton from KLYQ Radio here in Hamilton, and that's the Daly Mansion. Daly Mansion is one of the areas that Shakespeare in the Parks has been in the past years here in Hamilton. I think it started first at Legion Park in downtown Hamilton, and then it went out to the Ravalli County Fairgrounds. Here in the hollow right next to the mansion was one of the places where we watched some of the great plays of Shakespeare. And now it's on the large lawn over at Sapphire Lutheran Homes. It's been there for a number of years now. Great place to go and always great entertainment. We miss it terribly this year. However, just happened to have my complete works of Shakespeare here. And since we're among the trees from the play As You Like It, sweet are the uses of adversity, which, like the toad, ugly and venomous, wears yet a precious jewel in its head. And this our life, exempt from public haunt, finds tongues in trees, books in the running brooks, sermons in stones, and good in everything. I would not change it. And from the Merry Wives of Windsor, one of Falstaff's buddies, Pistol, says, "Why then, the world's mine oyster, which I with sword will open." We will open next year another edition of Shakespeare in the Parks in Hamilton. We're counting on it.
Hi, I'm Russ Lawrence. I've got a long association with the Hamilton Players and an even longer association with Shakespeare, and in particular, Shakespeare in the Parks. I've been watching them since they performed on the Oval when I was on campus at the University of Montana back in the 1970s. And at one time I was the presenter of Shakespeare in the Parks in Hamilton in Dominic's shoes. So I have a long and happy history with these folks. I also have an even longer history with Shakespeare himself. My mother was from London, and she made sure that we spoke proper English as we were kids, to the extent that she also introduced us to Shakespeare at a young age. We actually had Hamlet for dinner placemats on our dinner table with quotes from Hamlet that we would be looking at every night before our plates of dinner arrived. So I have a long and happy history with Shakespeare too. Any association with food is good. Many of my favorite memories involve professional performances. I have seen the Royal Shakespeare Company perform in London. For my 40th birthday, my wife put me on an airplane, wouldn't tell me where we were going, and we ended up at the Oregon Shakespeare Festival in Ashland, where we spent a week wallowing in Shakespeare. But one of my favorite all-time memories of Shakespeare performances was from the Montana Shakespeare Company Shakespeare in the Parks presentation in Hamilton years ago when they performed Romeo and Juliet. Normally they have their standard stage, which you've all seen. Only this year it was raining buckets. It was the August singularity, and it was going to rain for a couple of days. It was clear they were not going to be able to perform outdoors. But it was 2 days before the fair, and they had put up the KLYQ entertainment tent, which had just enough room for the stage and a couple of hundred seats. It was going to be cold, it was going to be damp, but they were going to be able to do it. What they couldn't do was set up their big set, their 2-story set inside that tent. It wasn't tall enough. So they had to improvise. They'd been performing that show night after night in the same way on the same set all summer long, and here tonight in Hamilton they had to improvise completely. I remember in one scene Friar Lawrence came out, and while he was delivering his lines he had a towel that he was using to mop up a puddle on the stage before the big battle scene, the big fight scene, so that the actors would be safe. Every actor was on top of their form. They had to change all of their blocking, all of their entrances. They had to improvise all night long, and it made the show entirely new to them as well as to the audience. It was electrifying. The audience was in their corner, and the actors could feel it. It brought everyone up to a whole new level. It was one of the best performances I've ever seen. As an audience member, it was just, as I say, electrifying. So in honor of that, I have a brief speech from Romeo and Juliet. One of the things that Shakespeare did best was stupefying love, when someone is absolutely smitten by love. And this is from the moment when Romeo first sees Juliet across the room at a party. And he says, "Whoa, she doth teach the torches to burn bright. It seems she hangs upon the cheek of night like a rich jewel in an Ethiop's ear. Beauty too rich for use, for earth too dear. So shows a snowy dove trooping with crows, as yonder lady o'er her fellows shows. The measure done, I'll watch her place of stand, and touching hers, make blessed my rude hand. Did my heart love till now? Forswear it, sight! For I ne'er saw true beauty till this night." I'm looking forward to seeing True Beauty performed on this lawn by Montana Shakespeare in the Parks next summer. I hope to see all of you there. Thank you.